Hello guys, I hope all are you doing good, having good time with your family, and people who are preparing for exam might be very busy in their studies. Now, so the purpose of recording this video is to discuss one of the important topic in CA final law syllabus, which is none other than, by looking at this picture you should have guessed it, independent directors. Now, this is a very lengthy topic and there are various interpretation issues which a student or faculty faces while explaining or reading the topic. But still, we have good examples. We will ensure that we understand this concept in a more better manner. Now, sir, independent director. Now, first question, sir, why you require an independent director? Now, can I say by looking at this diagram, you can understand all directors might think in one manner. Matlab they may have a collusion, sir. They may be thinking from their point of view also and company's point of view also. But an independent director is a person who is adopted or who is appointed by the company to ensure good corporate governance is there in the company. Whenever we use a word corporate governance, definitely you will be finding another word which is independent director. In short, where corporate governance word is there independent director will definitely be there, sir. So these are such people who have been appointed by the company to give honest opinion, fair opinion, sir, that type of an opinion which ensures it complies with the law, protecting the interest of stakeholders, maintaining ethical standards in the company. So these are some aspects which independent director will be looking at. They are definitely subject matter experts. They will be giving an expert opinion to the company. They are never ever indulged in day-to-day affairs of the company. Now, in Companies Act also we have provisions with respect to independent director. Now, first job of mine would be to show you what are the provisions which are there in a company law with respect to independent director. Now, if you look at total company law, you will be finding references of independent director in all these sections or subsections. First, it starts with 149 subsection 4, which says certain class of companies and listed public companies should have an independent director. Then we have something called eligibility criteria, matlab who can become an independent director. Then after a person is appointed as an independent director, he has to give declaration. That is under section 149 subsection 7. Then other provisions, which is 149 subsection 8 to 149 subsection 13. Then 150 is talking about maintaining a data bank so that we can easily appoint an independent director. Sir, 151 is talking about small shareholder director who can be considered as an independent director if he meets all the criteria which are defined in 149 subsection 6, and also he gives declaration as per 149 subsection 7. Next, we have something called 152 subsection 6 deals with rotational and non-rotational directors, where in TNOD is nothing but total number of directors, independent directors should not be counted, sir. Next, sir, no requirement of deposit with respect to independent director. As we know that as per section 160, whenever you are appointing whenever you are adding a fresh face to the company, and at that time 1 lakh deposit criteria is required, but 1 lakh criteria is not applicable if you are appointing an independent director. Next, appointment of alternate director. There we have seen in first proviso to section 161 subsection 2 that whenever you are appointing an alternate director for an independent director, even that alternate director should meet all the criteria defined in 149 subsection 6. Next, then we have whenever you are appointing, or this is with respect to removal, whenever you are removing a director as per section 169. Now, as per section 169, shareholders by giving special notice can remove any type of director, though we have some exception, 3 directors cannot be removed as per that section. But anyway, so if you want to remove an independent director who is enjoying second term, then for him OR will not suffice. There you have to pass special resolution. Then we have something called board meeting ka days criteria, sir. So 173 is dealing with board meeting ka notice. So we have seen that whenever you are calling a board meeting, and if at all you have to call a normal board meeting, 7 days ka notice is required. But if it is an urgent matter, and if it is an urgent matter, then shorter notice is also allowed, provided independent director is attending that meeting, sir. Then we have something called audit committee and then NRC committee. So there also we have seen composition of board of directors. Composition of audit committee should definitely have independent directors. Sitting fee ka provisions we have seen in 197 subsection 5. There we have seen that 197 subsection 5 read with rule number 4 says what should be the sitting fee to a normal director. Now it says whatever fees you pay to a normal director, same amount of fees you should pay to independent director also. In fact, it also uses a word woman director. In short, there should be no discrimination with respect to fee for a normal director and independent director. When I said fee, it means sitting fee. And then we have one schedule 4 which deals with code of independent directors. It is nothing but duties. So iska matlab, these are all the provisions which you have to study in company law with respect to independent directors. Now, but today our agenda is not to discuss all these things, sir. Now, when you are watching this video, my expectation is you should have read from here all these topics. So a better way of understanding this answer could be read all the topics of your chapter number 11 in Companies Act, chapter number 12 in Companies Act, chapter number 13 in Companies Act. Once you are done with all these 3 chapters, then you read independent director ka provisions, you will understand in a more better manner, sir. So today our discussions are divided into 3 parts. Part number 1, part number 2 and part number 3. So part number 1 is talking about which companies should have independent directors and how many. Next part is talking about who can become an independent director, or you can say eligibility criteria. Then we have remaining miscellaneous provisions which starts with 149 subsection 7 to 149 subsection 13, and then we have data bank of independent director which is section number 150. Now, how our discussion will continue, sir? Now, I will be not preparing this video in a lengthier manner. Reason being very simple. It will take at least 4 to 5 hours for me to complete this total answer. And 5 hours ka video, for me also at a stretch taking will be difficult, and for you also at a stretch sitting and listening will become difficult. So what I will be doing is I will be dividing this video into various parts, sir. First, I will be discussing with part number 2, which is eligibility criteria. Who can become an independent director, or एक independent director में what are the things which we are looking for, sir. Okay. So part 2 I will be starting in next video, sir. So next video will be talking about part 2. That next video will talk about part 1, and last video will talk about part 3, sir. Okay. So thank you very much for your patient listening.